In Dallas, shortly after Jake leaves, you find yourself on camera with Scotty Flamingo, who we all know is Raven. What do you remember about
Right.
working with Scotty before he was Raven?
Oh my God. And I'll tell you even how that even happened. But Scotty was, I mean, we all talked a lot. Me, him, and Nash hung together a lot. And it just so happens, when the Vegas thing and Scotty one punch bingo flamingo, as Nash called him, and with Mark Merrow. And I always thought like Scotty had a really amazing, kind of like Jake. He had a really great psychology in the ring. Like even though he came in WWE, he was a manager there. He was working. They just put him in that spot, and he didn't get over there, because they weren't going to let him. They didn't see it. I saw it.
He didn't want to manage anyone.
No, he didn't want nothing to do with managing, but he'll do whatever he can do to be in the spot. And then because of the relationship, um, when he left and he wasn't with WCW, I'm in Germany. I want to say it's like 94. It's the same tour I think I was on with Hogan. So I think it was 94. And I'm in Germany at one point and I'm watching MTV. And the only bands I know, I hadn't watched for a couple of years. So the only bands I know is Bruce Springsteen and Aerosmith. Everything else is Green Day, Nirvana, all
Right.
these bands that I hear, but I don't really know their names, right? And at that time, I came back, and one of my good friends, Tony Palagrossi, who's one of the biggest promoters in New Jersey for bands and festivals and all that stuff. And he picked us, me and Kimberly, up at the airport. And I started talking about how, man, only Springsteen and Aerosmith are the only guys that I actually really know who their music and everything. Everybody else is out. And Tony says to me, he says, he says, who's representing that portion of society now? That Green Day, Nirvana, grunge type character. And I went, man, nobody. I gotta go.
Bada bing.
I go, who could do that? And Kimberly goes, Scotty could. And I went, wow, he really could. So I call him up and I tell him the idea. And I said, if you get this down, I'll call Paul Lee and get you an ECW until you're ready. And then you come back here. So we started working on the character. And he'd call me up and he'd start with the Raven. Oh, it's good. And then he'd go, you boy. And I will click. Because all of a sudden he went back to that, Bingo Flamingo character, who was like a rapper kid. And he'd call me, he go, what'd you hang up on me for? I go, because boy doesn't go with the darkness of the grunge kid. Keep working on it. Boom, hang up. He'd call me again. And he took probably about 5 different phone calls before he wow, Scotty, you got this. I'm going to call Paul Lee right now. And I called Paul and he was cool with it, saying, I'll bring him in. And when you need him, take him. He wasn't cool with it when he left.
Right.
But I was very upfront about that. And anybody will tell you, I'm going to tell you exactly the way it is. I'm not going to candy coat it. I'm not going to work you. I'm going to tell you exactly the way it is for my side. And if you want to disagree, that's okay. And then don't use them. But we all know Scotty got up there and he got over crazy, especially with him and Dreamer. He got over huge. And then when he came with us, I thought that, man, this guy's got the potential to be a freaking world champion. And I really believed in him and putting the whole flock behind him. We actually did. Do you know Rich from Fozzy?
Yeah. Yeah. Great guy.
So Rich had a band back then called Stuck Mojo.
Yep.
And they had, I can't remember who their lead rap singer was. Really, really good though. And they had this band and they asked me if I would be in their video and actually do the color commentating as they're coming out because they wanted to come out as tag team champions.
Yep.
Rich and his partner, they came out, and I got Raven Splock involved, and it was a real fun video, and I actually got it played on MTV, and it really helped Rich take his whole band to a different level, and that got him involved with Jericho, and then they've just done a lot of amazing stuff.
The